If you've been following LEGO retirement trends during COVID-19, you may have found yourself in a panic. Set after set is being marked as out of stock on LEGO.com well before expected retirement dates. Luckily, we just received confirmation from the LEGO Group that they have been falling behind on production due to COVID-19 pandemic and should resume offering these sets once production ramps back up. However, there are no specific sets mentioned that are expected to return, which provoked me to create this video. I'm only going to focus on sets that have been marked as out of stock in the US. I'm assuming that sets marked as back-ordered are fine and aren't worth our worry. Without further ado, here's my list of sets that I hope are restocked after COVID-19. I'm starting with a safe bet here. The bookshop has only been available for a few months, and I was really shocked to see it get the out-of-stock label. I would be amazed if this wasn't back on shelves shortly after production issues are resolved. We're going to talk about a few modular buildings here, and each one we talk about gets dicier and dicier in terms of whether or not it will be restocked. Corner Garage has only been around a little over a year, so I'm still fairly confident this boy will get restocked. I was lucky enough to grab the Downtown Diner over the holidays, but I can understand if people are sweating over this one. It would definitely be an earlier than expected retirement, and prices have already jumped to $300 in the aftermarket. Yikes. For the record, this is a coin flip for me. I expect this set to retire this holiday season, meaning 2020 holiday season, so if production issues stick around until then, we could be in trouble. Last modular building on the list, Assembly Square, and this is where my confidence shifts to expecting a restock to not expecting a restock. This guy is definitely at his expected retirement age. I even called him out in my retirement predictions for 2019 video. Link above if you haven't seen that yet, so I don't expect this one to return. Staying within Creator Expert, but moving over to the vehicles line, the Volkswagen Beetle is another set that I was fortunate enough to pick up already, and it's fairly close to its expected retirement age, so I would put it in the same camp as the Downtown Diner. It could go either way. I'll mention them here as well. James Bond's Aston Martin and the infamous unretirable champ, the VW Campervan, are also marked as out of stock. I was never a fan of the Aston Martin, so I'd actually prefer to see that one go to make space for something else, and if anything could finally kill the unkillable beast that is the Campervan, it might just be COVID-19. Good riddance. Back from the dead and now dead again? Well, maybe. I'm leaning towards a restock with the Taj Mahal. It's been on shelves since 2017, which makes me wary, but there is no other large landmark set to take its place, and that would be a really weird void in the LEGO Group's lineup here. Prices have already jumped to $600 plus on the aftermarket, so hopefully it does return. This would be a personal heartbreak for me if the Disney Castle is truly retired. For the record, I don't think it is, and with prices hovering around $700 on the aftermarket, I would be pulling my hair out in disbelief if it didn't get a restock. Even though this set has been around since 2016, it was marked as out of stock right around the height of COVID-19 in the States in mid-April, which has me leaning towards it coming back. Hopefully the LEGO Group is monitoring prices before deciding which sets to slash, because I could see a lot of angry fans, myself included, if sets like this one go earlier than expected. While we're on the topic of castles, the Hogwarts Castle is also marked as out of stock, similar to the Disney Castle. This happened right around mid-April, so I'm chalking this one up to production issues as well. I expect it to come back. Moving over into the Ideas theme, we have 3 sets that I have pretty high confidence will be restocked, starting with the Treehouse. This set was released in August 2019, and I would expect it to stay on shelves until holiday 2021 if it followed a similar trajectory to other sets in the theme. But Idea sets can be super unpredictable. Just look at the Mars rover that stayed on the market for just 10 days. That being said, I'm still leaning towards a restock for the Treehouse. Same sentiments here for dinosaur fossils. Released back in November, I would be shocked if this wasn't restocked after the production issues are solved. This one probably isn't even worth listing. Out of all the sets on this list, I have the highest confidence that this set will be available after the pandemic, but I'll knock on wood just to be safe. Released April 1st and marked as out of stock on April 17th, if Pirates of Barracuda Bay did retire, it would rival the Mars rover for shortest production run of any LEGO set in the last 20 years or so. So this set is a little different from everything else on the list because it's technically not marked out of stock. It's not even released yet, but I'm including it here because pre-orders sold out in less than 24 hours, and this thing launched right around the start of the pandemic. I'm mostly hoping that we have another chance at that exclusive Monty Mole set that came bundled in the pre-order. For the record, I'm not concerned about the Adventures of the Mario Starter course set here. I'm only really concerned about the Monty Mole set being unavailable forever, and my completionist brain will wreak havoc on my wallet if that is the case. This is a more personal concern of mine. You can still order individual packs of Series 20, but this was going to be the first collectible minifig series that I decided to order a complete box. I thought it would make it easier in terms of social distancing to be able to guarantee a complete set of 16 and 1 to 2 other complete sets to resell later. I'm holding out hope that these will be available again, but strangely, these are the only product I'll mention in this video that is marked sold out when you look at it on lego.com. Everything else is marked as temporarily out of stock. I'm not sure if that means anything. I kind of think it doesn't, and hopefully this one comes back as well. Alright, we are rounding third in this list. Let's talk some Star Wars before we wrap up. It seems that most of the sets that are marked out of stock for Star Wars are the big ships, which leads me to believe that they are all held up production issue wise and they should return when things are back to normal. Tantive 4's return is looking pretty good in my mind. Same thing goes for the Imperial Star Destroyer, which I expect to sit on shelves until COVID-19 is a distant memory. I expect this thing to stick around for a long time. A set that I go back and forth about buying almost on a monthly basis. There is no way the Millennium Falcon is going anywhere. I take back what I said about Barracuda Bay being the set I'm most confident about getting a restock. That distinction belongs to the Millennium Falcon. The last set on this list and the first set on my list of regrets if it doesn't return to shelves, Stranger Things Upside Down. It was marked as out of stock during the mid-April range, like a lot of the other sets on this list, so I feel good about it coming back. As soon as it does, I'm picking it up because I'm not about to let it slip through my fingers after this scare. So there you have it, my entire breakdown of all the sets that are currently marked as out of stock during the COVID-19 pandemic. Hopefully we see everything on this list return, but I fully expect a few gut wrenches in the mix that we were not anticipating. Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this video, I highly recommend subscribing. You can also check out our podcast where you can get even more of my thoughts on LEGO collecting and investing. Just search for Toy Talk Guys in your podcast app of choice and click the link in the description below. As always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all again next time.